Yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla, aka The Definition, aka Tyrus Bane, is in the building. Hitting y'all with this quick live stream because, man, oh man, do they have big ass shovels for the bullshit. Man, oh man, do they have big ass shovels for the bullshit. The shovels are huge and they're made of platinum. Salute to brother Shelton in the building. Wow, oh wow. I'm back because I want to do something real quick now that I'm on lunch, going on my little lunch break. And I wanted to touch on this real quick because the maneuvering, the mental gymnastics, and the framing of this is tantamount to anything that you can think. I mean, it is absolutely wild and out of control. I gotta say it. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about in specific, I'm talking about Tim Pool. Okay? Now, Tim Pool popped up in my algorithm, in the recommended or whatever, and he talked about Candace Owens releasing these text messages. And it's wild as hell what he is trying to convey to the people that follow him. He has millions of subscribers, millions of people that listen to him. Tim Fool, exactly. Tim motherfucking Fool. Candace Owens puts out these text messages. I talked about it this morning. Turning Point USA spokesperson Andrew COVID attests to the veracity of these text messages. And this puts everything Turning Point USA has said in regards to Charlie Kirk's assassination into question. It puts it into doubt. And it shows that Candace Owens was not fucking lying in regards to Charlie Kirk basically doing a 180 against Israel, basically saying that he has no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause. This bombshell is literally what it is. It presents a whole new aspect to this thing. And Tim Pool comes out, and the first thing he does talks about how people like Candace Owens are compromising the FBI investigation. Salute to Darren C. Williams in the building. Salute to my brother Darren C. Williams. Salute to brother Shelton. Make sure y'all drop y'all links in the chat so people can check y'all out. Brother Shelton, I have some homework for you, brother, if you wouldn't mind. I want you to do one of your little memes about Tim Pool crying about the truth coming out. Anyway, the truth comes out. Tim Pool, the first thing he wants to do is attack people like Candace Owens, people like myself, people like Sabby Sabs, and all these people that just don't go with the fucking narrative, and tells these people that we are compromising the investigation by questioning, by talking about what we question, by bringing new ideas, by investigating this whole thing and pointing out inconsistencies, connecting dots. We are compromising an investigation. Aren't we just conspiracy theorists that are sensationalist, and we just do this for clicks and views and all this bullshit? How are we compromising an investigation when we have no fucking information? We don't have access that the FBI has. We don't have the access Turning Point USA has. We don't even have access Candace Owens has. Candace Owens has access. She just doesn't have the protection. She doesn't have the covering. She doesn't have any of the things that these people have. But how would Candace be compromising? How would I or Valhalla VFT and everybody that's digging into this and trying to present you guys with, just pull the curtain back. How are we compromising an investigation? No. What they're trying to do, the people that are doing all this digging, they are trying to get answers to questions that are they're continuously mounting questions. Question after question after question. After every time the FBI opens their fucking mouth to tell us what they want us to know, there are more questions. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up because A, B, and C. If you just do that, we're compromising the investigation. We have no access to the investigation. You know what? We are compromising the propaganda. Tim Fool might as well just come out and say that. Because what he does, instead of calling out Turning Point USA, instead of calling Andrew Covid and all these guys that completely tried to make Candace Owens look like a liar and like she's just making stuff up. Charlie Kirk never had these misgivings. He never did. No, Charlie Kirk, he was all in. All these people that went against Candace Owens have been lying for the last 2 weeks. They've been lying. But does Tim Pool call out these people for lying? No. He calls them out for confirming that the text message was real. He's basically saying Andrew Covid should never have come out and said that the texts were real. Now it just gives credibility to what Candace Owens is saying. What was it? Yes, of course it does. That's common sense. What? Yes, if you are lying and she's telling the truth and she pulls out a receipt to back up what she's saying, and you come out and say, yeah, that's true, those are real receipts. Well, duh. Yeah, you're going to lend credibility to the person that's telling the truth, that can prove that she's telling the truth. But Tim Pool has a problem with that, not because Andrew Covid was lying, but because he proved that Candace Owens was telling the truth. You're not calling out Andrew Covid for lying. You're calling him out for admitting he was lying, that admitting Bowling and all these Turek and all these guys were lying. Because it can compromise an FBI investigation? Well, far be it for me to believe that the FBI should investigate every angle, not just the one they want you to be okay with. That's not what investigating a crime is about. Investigating a crime, right, is about exploring every angle. If these things don't add up, well, we should not pursue them as much as the things that do add up. So if the FBI is investigating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who is doing the compromising? Who is compromising the investigation? The people that are not being forthright and forthcoming with crucial information, or the people that are adding more crucial information? Who is compromising the investigation if you're leaving crucial things out? If you're leaving out potential motive? The compromiser is the one that's trying to hide the potential motivations behind Charlie Kirk's death to make it appear to be only one potential motivation, which is that a furry-loving trainee terror cell member took out Charlie Kirk. That is the motivation that they are going with. That's the motive that they are following. They're not following the Israel motive. They're not following that. They're not following the one that makes complete and total sense. Where if you look at everything that points to that, it lines up logically, it follows logically, as opposed to what they present to you that points to Tyler Robinson, which does not line up, which does not make sense, does not follow logically. But we're compromising the investigation if we present it just boggles the mind. This is somebody that millions of people tune into that they believe has some sense. Tim Fool. Y'all need to hit the like button. I don't understand. Double click that. All you gotta do is double tap the screen, y'all. Simple as a pimple. Simple as a pimple. Simple as a pimple. Tim Pool is trying to convince you, and people like Tim Pool, they're trying to convince you that Candace Owens is compromising an investigation that they're not even making. The FBI is not investigating the angle Candace Owens believes they should investigate. They're not doing that. They have one angle. But if you point out the inconsistencies of that angle, all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that we are going to compromise the investigation. We are going to compromise the trial. We're going to sow doubt. We're going to sow doubt. They're not going to look at Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson will be less likely to be convicted if we tell all these truths. Why would we do that? Why would we want to help an innocent man, a potentially innocent man, be shown to be innocent? Why would we want to do that? What kind of sense does that make? Why would we want to explore something that makes sense? Why would we want to, if we have all this information, we got all these camera angles, we got all these text messages, we got all these things that Charlie Kirk was expressing to people that he was feeling. He said, according to Candace Owens and 3 individuals that Candace Owens has talked to, thought that he would be killed the day before he got murdered. Tim Pool even mentions this. Well, Candace, why would you? He's basically saying, why would you want to bring all these things to light? You're gonna fuck up the Tyler Robinson angle. You're gonna fuck that off. This is listen, I'm glad though. I love it. I haven't seen Brandon Tatum's reaction, but I want him to do the same thing Tim Fool is doing. I want him to tell Candace to shut up and dribble. That's what I want him to do. I want him to do the same, expose himself as the shill he is. Expose, because Tim Fool just exposed himself. He just exposed himself. Yes. Bev Tone, he's on the payroll. I've been through this. I could tell. He bought all the way in during the COVID-19 pandemic. He bought all the way in. He bought all the way in. First, he was trying to convince people that the response to COVID, that it was necessary what these people did. And then once he saw, oh, well, if I go in a different direction, it'll be better for me. I saw the switch. During COVID-19. I had a modicum of respect for Tim Fool. It went out the window during COVID-19. Oh, you were right on board. You were on board with the hokey pokies. You were on board with the shutdowns. You were on board with the BS they were peddling about COVID-19. He called himself a milquetoast fence sitter. Why is this important? Because these are the people they're put in front of you to influence you. They want to influence you and make you believe that the way to go is their way. They don't want you to be independent thinkers, right? Even though they claim the right claims themselves and they purport themselves to be the critical thinkers, the free thinkers, the independent thinkers. But they don't really want you to do that because they'll lie to you. They're liars. Tim Pool is lying to your face, telling you that content creators and Candace Owens is compromising an FBI investigation. I didn't, because he said he didn't want to speak on it. He didn't want to do this, he didn't want to do that. But you're telling us that you believe that COVID should not have verified that text message because it makes Candace Owens look credible. Well, don't you want the truth to be out? Wouldn't you? Don't you want the truth to come out regardless of who it makes look credible? You want the people to be informed of the truth. You want the lies to be exposed, even if it makes someone you don't like look credible. Why did Rip triple after Coco? What's Coco? They don't want us to think for ourselves or see for ourselves. No, they don't. Oh, okay, I got you, Hexan Smith. No, you can say COVID. We're going to test YouTube because they told us we can talk about it, even though they're limiting the monetization of my last 2 live streams. I don't care. Go ahead. What did I say? I don't care. They can completely demonetize those live streams. The truth is, I've been doing this for 6 years with no monetization. Every day, damn near every week. I haven't stopped. They stopped my channel for growing for 5 years because of the things I was saying. It's not going to stop me. Oh, AI suddenly got good, didn't it? Didn't it though? Well, we're 20 years behind. Well, Valdemir Gadar Gudmundsson says AI is flawed. The AI that you have access to is flawed. Believe it to retrieve it. They have much less flawed AI. So go check out Tim Pool. Go see what he had to say about the text messages come out because all right, we good now? Romeo Lima Charlie? Give me a Romeo Lima Charlie, y'all. All right, I appreciate it. Now, so go check that out, man. I didn't watch the whole video. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Thank you for the Romeo Lima Charlie. Salute to Real Hillbilly. Salute to Gerhard Lauder. Salute to Stack, Chuck Miles. Fucking A-hole, Bev Tone. Salute to y'all. Thank you guys. Now, I did not watch the whole video from Tim Pool. But it's right there. You guys can go catch it. He's talking about the text messages being released. And the very first, damn near the first thing he does is shame people that question the narrative and tell us that we're compromising the investigation if we do that. If we present information opposing the official narrative. Water Otter says, scripture tells us what's happening. I like that name, Water Otter. That's pretty dope. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole, I don't have to, because people tell you what they about. I'm glad he actually came out with that right at the beginning, because, you know, I mean, I already knew Tim Pool was a shill, and there's nothing wrong with being a shill. It's just who are you shilling for? I'm a shill. I'm a shill. I'm a shill for truth and freedom. I'm not backed by any big corporation. I'm backed by you guys. You guys back me. So whatever support you give, even if it's just a like, even if it's just a view, even if it's a share, I'm a shill for freedom for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with being a shill. Nothing wrong with getting support to do what you do. But I'm motivated by freedom. That's my ultimate motivation. And anything that I can present to you guys to help us get on that path, that's what I'm going to present to you guys. Regardless of what, right? Regardless of who might be a victim of government meddling, who might be a victim of a conspiracy by the forces and powers that be. And that would be Charlie Kirk. In my opinion, from what has come out thus far, from every option presented to us, I believe that Charlie Kirk is a victim of his own usefulness. He's a victim of his own usefulness. What do I mean? Kirk is one of those useful people. He's useful. Now, when you're one of those people, you can be a useful idiot or you can be a useful, intelligent person. You can be someone that's useful, but has common sense and has a righteous motivations. Charlie Kirk was useful, and that's why what happened to him had to happen to him. If he were not, he would still be alive, right? If he were not. If he were useful and stayed in pocket, no problems. But because he was useful and he was starting to turn, because like he said in his text message, pulling his support for the pro-Israel cause, well, he became too useful to whom? Yeah, he was very useful for sowing division. But once he became useful to the people, once he thought about it, once he was like, you know what? Yeah, I can't rock with this no more. And he saw the cascading effects of making that known. See, this just didn't happen over a single short period of time. This happened over months. Cascading effects from Charlie Kirk questioning this, questioning that. Things started to happen. Support started getting pulled. Funding started getting pulled. But he tiptoed too much. He tiptoed. He tiptoed through the daisies instead of stomping through them motherfuckers. Because I believe if he would have stomped through the daisies instead of tiptoeing, well, he might have lost more funding faster. He might have been completely ostracized. He might have been Kanye Wested it, or Kyrie Irving, or he might have gotten treated like Candace Owens is getting treated right now. If he would have, all right, instead of taking 5 months to say I'm pulling my support, and instead of doing it in a private text message, if he would have done it in 3 months and openly opposed Israel and what they're doing in Gaza, and openly opposed this idea that Benjamin Nosferatu had Donald Trump by the balls, right? Because he also said that. Don't forget that he advised Donald Trump against launching a strike in Iran on Israel's behalf. And Donald Trump told him, what did he tell him? He told him, don't worry about that pimping. Don't even talk about it. Well, don't tiptoe through the daisies, y'all. When the truth presents itself and the devil's horns gets exposed and you have a voice like Charlie Kirk, do not tiptoe. No, you stomp. You stomp. May God have mercy on my enemies because I won't. As you should not. Roll me in the clover, says water. Moke says he's left the public stage and is alive and well. I don't know. That might, hey, you know, I wouldn't put it past him. Kaiser Jose says he was a victim of his own ideology, or he was a victim of abandoning one aspect of his ideology. Kavas man, don't worry about it. The chat be chatting. Don't even worry about it. The chat be chatting. Shapiro is going to stay quiet. Shapiro is not going to say anything. He's not going to say anything. And maybe Tim Pool shouldn't have said nothing because he's making himself look like a complete fool. If people did not believe Tim Pool was a shield before today, and if they don't realize it after what the shit he said today, ooh-wee. Eater the Just says it's crazy to see how many people are eating off Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, they are. They are. You know, but these are people that have been eating over the deaths of Palestinians and other people. This is what it is. Yeah, Ben Shapiro's initials are BS. You're right. Tim Pool said that. So someone asked what Tim Pool said. Tim Pool said that Andrew Covid should not have verified that the text message that Candace Owens released was real because it gives credibility to Candace Owens. He didn't get on Andrew Covid for lying. He didn't get on Turning Point USA for lying about Charlie Kirk's position on Israel. No. He said that they should not have come out with the truth because it makes Candace Owens look like she knows what she's talking about. That's what he said. And he also said that people like Candace Owens are people that don't just roll with the narrative, or that people that present you with different angles and different scenarios and different threads that you can follow in regards to Charlie Kirk's death is compromising an investigation. This is what he's telling people. Anyway. Anybody entertaining the possibility that the character actually died is a fool. Well, listen. People are going to continue to eat off of Charlie Kirk's death, and those people belong to Turning Point USA. They belong to. There are people like Tim Pool. There are people like there are all these people. And you know what? Before I get out of here, man, I gotta go. Why are people mad at Candace Owens for doing ad reads in her videos? Why are people mad that she has sponsors that she's talking about in her videos? I'm confused. And it's people that gets on her for making money for doing videos. Those very people make money doing videos, and they sell products. So what if Candace Owens is selling products while she's talking about this? So what? Right? That if what she's saying is true, if she's bringing factual information and receipts and she's providing information to the people, does it matter if she's selling a product? So what? These same people aren't calling out Turning Point USA for using Charlie Kirk's memorial service to raise money for a millionaire getting buried. Dude was a millionaire, had a $12 million house. Was worth, I think it was worth 12. He was in a double-digit millions of dollars he was worth. You're using his memorial service to raise money for Turning Point USA and to pay for his... What? It's wild. Anyway, I don't care. Candace Owens can make all the money she wants on her platform. She's been doing this shit for years. She's been, since she left the Daily Wire, or whatever we call it, the wiring, whatever the fuck Ben Shapiro had. She has been doing this for years. So anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I just wanted to bring that to light real quick because Tim Pool is a fucking asshat who's full of shit. And trying to shame people for wanting answers for a death of this magnitude is wild and out of control. And so, you know, he's not the only one. You got Brandon Tatum, you got Stephen Gardner, you got all these people out here. And when everything gets exposed, I hope people see them for the fools they are. Anyway, thank you guys for coming through. I'll holler at y'all later. I definitely have to talk about COVID-19 vaccine related cancer in South Korea, because that's also very important. Because who pushed that shit on us? Our illustrious government. So we're going to talk about the cancer rates in South Korea, and it involves a study that was done that involved over 8 million people, a very large sample size. So we're going to get into that later, because it is what it is. We got to know the truth. And the truth is, they peddled this bullshit onto us, and we got to find out exactly the damage that shit caused. So I'll holler at y'all later. Much love, like, share, subscribe, and we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Please hit that like button on the way out. 41 likes. Man, diabolical, y'all. Diabolical. It's free. Double tap. It's free. Peace.